I'm 50 now. Half a life behind me, or maybe more. I don't know. All I do know is this: sometimes the deepest love doesn't live in an embrace, but in a shadow. I had it all. Money. Women. A booming restaurant business. I launched venues all across Europe. Business partners admired me, competitors loathed me. I lived like a lion, hunting, thriving, ruling. But every night, I'd come back to my penthouse on the 15th floor and stare at the same window across the way. The one with the light on. Her window. She was a journalist. Always wore oversized sweaters, always had a book in hand. Different. Not like the ones who warmed my sheets. We met in the elevator. She dropped her coffee, I picked it up, and she laughed, short, free, fearless. The kind of laugh you don't hear from someone who wants something from you. She stayed with me because of her scent, cinnamon. Not her perfume, not her looks, just that. And her habit, always keeping one hand in her pocket, even in summer. Back then, I was dating a model from Barcelona. Having an affair with my accountant too. But she was silence I didn't want to break. And for a while I didn't. We bumped into each other a lot. Elevator. Stairs. The grocery store. Once, she left her key in the door. I knocked. She opened it in a robe, hair wet, eyes tired like they just cried. She said, "Come in." Just like that. No smile. No flirting. I stepped in. We said nothing. For the first time in years, I wasn't trying to impress. Didn't mention my investments, my Dubai properties, or drop clever lines. She made tea. Then asked, "When's the last time you cried?" I laughed. She didn't. I fell silent. Then told her. When my father died. I was in a meeting. Got the news late. Missed the goodbye. She nodded. I wrote an article about him, she said, pulling out a faded newspaper. I held it like it burned. And in my chest, something cracked, quietly. We didn't sleep together that night. We didn't even touch. Just sat in the dark. Her hand still in her pocket. I asked, "Why do you always keep it there?" She said, "I trusted the wrong person once. It's hard to let go now." I started waking up early, just to catch her stepping onto her balcony. She read newspapers, underlined sentences, smiled to herself. Me, the guy who juggled women and deals like poker chips, became addicted to her morning silence. I sent her a note. "Let's go somewhere with no versions of us. Just what's in between." She replied 2 days later. "Are you sure it's between us and not just inside you?" It hit me like a slap. I was used to women saying yes before I finished my sentence. She wasn't a conquest. She was a decision. And I didn't know how to win that. At the same time, a new competitor opened a bistro in Brooklyn, pulling all my high-end clientele. I was a mess. Sleeping at the office. Yelling at my team. Then one night, I came home and found her in my living room. She had a box. Inside, my notes, some books I lent her, and a plane ticket to Paris. One way. She said, "This is goodbye. I don't belong to someone. I belong to myself." I said nothing. Just let her leave. Because I didn't know how to keep someone you're not supposed to keep. 2 months after she left, my top investor pulled out. Said the numbers didn't add up. I laughed it off, but inside I panicked. I started pouring my own money into the business, covering up losses, playing magician with debt. Then came the audit. The accountant, the same one I had once slept with, left me hanging. She had been quietly funneling funds to a fake vendor, one I approved without reading the fine print. I lost everything in 72 hours. At night, I'd still glance at her window. It was always dark. One evening, I found an envelope at my door. No name. Just a photo. Her in Paris. Laughing. Holding hands with a woman. A woman. I stared at that photo until my eyes blurred. Not because I cared who she loved. But because she looked free. Happier than I had ever made her. Bankrupt. Alone. I moved to a small apartment in Queens, above a dry cleaner. I opened a hole-in-the-wall cafe, no staff, just me and burned espresso. People came for the honesty. No sleek decor. No bullshit. One rainy morning, a woman walked in. Soaked, breathless, familiar. It was her. She didn't say anything at first. Just sat down and ordered coffee. "I thought you disappeared," I said. "I did. That was the point." She looked tired, older. There was a scar on her wrist. I finally understood the hand in the pocket thing. She caught me staring. "You think you lost everything," she whispered. "But maybe you never had anything real to begin with." She left a 20 untouched coffee and walked out. Years passed. The cafe stayed open. One day a girl walked in, maybe 18, hair pulled back, same cinnamon scent. She ordered tea. Looked around. Then handed me a letter. She said to give this to you. On this exact day. The letter was dated a year before her death. She'd been sick. Had kept it from everyone. Even her partner. She knew her time was running out. Inside the letter, one line shook me to my core. "You were never supposed to save me. I just hoped you'd learn to save yourself." I closed the cafe for the day. Sat behind the counter. And cried, for the first time in years. Sometimes the woman who walks away isn't running from you. She's just finally running toward herself. And sometimes, love is a lesson, not a home.